Hello. Good afternoon, good morning. I'm sorry for the late start. I'm sorry. I really apologize. I really apologize. Please, today it won't be easy. For our brothers and sisters who are joining the show, please do me a favor. Share it to your WhatsApp group. Share it to all your messenger groups. Get everyone on board if you can. But if you can, no problem. We're going to rule the show once we hit a good number. I can see we are almost at 100. That is a good start, and I'm about to start the show. There will be no romancing today as I pick on so many issues to put an end from my own end. So if you can do me a favor and make sure your voices are heard from the comment section, and every other thing you can do, please share. That is most important. Please get it to a good number. We're almost at 100. I'm sorry again for the late. It would have, this show was supposed to start I think an hour ago, but due to other things I had to come in at this time. Please, sorry. Keep sharing, get everyone on board. Morning, Fun Joe. Greetings, Chess Bay. I salute everybody. I hail everybody. Fuller. Salute. Prince Zip. Alright. We are at 100. Mellow. And see all now. When I show where we not watch, from where are you watching from? We just need to be together. Okay. Dear Amberlanders, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night, Clovis neighbor. Okay, I hope everybody's getting me. It seems as if the volume is not the best. As somebody said, you seem as if we cannot hear you. All right, Abazonians, greet every mommy, papa where they watch, the picking the way that they watch with the mommy there right now, and the papa that they watch with the picking them. I see the way we don't gather together for ground zero. When I watch them right now like na television, that is the way forward. As Choe salute for you, Dash White, I understand your problems. Egyawang Moses, always on board. Greeting, my dear brothers. Okay, Mike Fomban, I also see you. So, my dear brothers and my dear sisters, it's been a while I appeared on the particular platform. And I did make my voice, my post yesterday or early this morning. I'm sorry, by the time I posted, it was yesterday my time. But in Ground Zero and other places, it was your time. All right, Awanda Rose, always present. Thank you, Mama, or my dear sister. So, dear Amberlanders, again, as I take on this particular show, like I earlier said, it won't be easy. It won't really be easy. You can sugarcoat so many things the way you want. You may say what you want to say. I believe those who are reasoning and who have the mind for the revolution will take home a message and will definitely share the message with friends and families. All right, again, let me take on the topic right away. 1 second while I set up my phone to bring it up from my own end. 1 second, please. Do not try to share as you can. Like I said, try to share if you can. Let me bring this, let me share this to my page. Share with other option. All right, please. I'm trying to make sure I also share this to other groups because people usually say they don't see me when I go live. I don't know the problem, but let me do what I can do right now. All right. Okay, I think it has been shared. Okay, Abazonians, I see we have built up to 150 audience on our online right now. Okay. From the topic, I have it right here. From the topic, like I earlier said, from drama to drama in this revolution, we have been seeing that. Point 1. Point 2, what we failed to do for resolution HR 358. What we Abazonians failed to do. That is point 2. Make sure you get your pens and paper and even grab a popcorn if you could, because as I said, the fire will not be easy today. It's been a while. Point 3, Cardinal Tumi and the Federalists and the anti-Sardinals. You will hear what they did. You have pushed through the air. The moves they have gone up to this extent, what they have done. You will know why we sit quiet and nothing is being happening. Watch out, listen, continue. Number 3 or number 4 or is number 5. Dr. Sako, Mark Bareta, Cardinal, John Egyawang, Tabayang, there will be mentioned very in a strong terms. It's been a while. You will hear from me today. Okay, number 6, what you must know about Eric Tataw. All in this show today. What you should know about Eric Tataw, you will know. Okay, dear Amberlanders, again, good morning, good afternoon once more. I will first of all take on the resolution 358. From there, it will be bringing up these topics. You will see how it will be flowing. So yesterday, I believed I can put this in the terms that everybody, you know, when I always talk, I mix English and Pidgin because when you get too into it, you just keep flowing. It doesn't matter. So I want to accommodate Ground Zero in particular for this live show. Our Mama, Papa, everybody, indiscriminately, they should be part of this show. This topic has been going on for a very long time, and all we do, we broke big grammars, and yet the people who are supposed to get the messages, they don't even know what is going on. They don't even see what is happening. They don't see no change. Yet we keep repeating, and they are down there killing them. They don't even go to the market. They can't even go to their farms. Nothing is happening. So, Mommy, Papa, they are going to accommodate when after this show. Again, from time to time, I feel switch for white man he talk and black man he talk. It just depends. All right, ground zero. Then I say my camera show me on one side. In the terms that everybody. Okay. I did fine. All right, ground zero and my dear fellow viewers, sir. The resolution 358 where we don't recently watch them where it go on yesterday. Now, yeah, I want to start this news with them very heavily in the strong terms. We'll see how is U.S. Congress. On the House, sorry, you get House, you get Congress. These are two different departments when it comes to the government of USA. So you get the House where they come out on a decision for resolution 358. That resolution 358, where we be back, send me the CC we get for separate, unconditionally. We come out, people then try their best, they say make them call, make them write. This resolution 358 not be only for Abazonians. No, that is the reason they say make everybody call. Make you do your best, go for your congressman, congresswoman, the state where they, in particularly those who live for USA. In as much as we put that effort, if the resolution be open for La Republic to for do it on, for call, also vote for whatever they want. If they want a federation, if they want a one Cameroon, or if they want a separation, it be open for federalists, for also call. Whether they want a federation, whether they want a two Cameroon, or whether they want a one Cameroon. This was an open floor for everybody for call. In as much as it was open for everybody to call, we're not listening. We, the Abazonians, I feel remember 1 billion% well. Mr. Chris Anu become live sometimes say make everybody call a congressman. When I call for resolution 358. Even Silas do some recent video where they be share them. Say make it go out there, make people they call for say they need a change for Cameroon. We want one independent. Everything goes by vote. This is a democratic world. This is a developed country. And they expect your vote. If you don't vote, it doesn't count. Don't sit there and be dreaming and you say, last year or in 2016 or 2011, they said the same thing, but later on it was changed. Or Eritrea, they said the same thing to Eritrea, later on it was changed. It's a lie. Your votes count. When they ask that opportunity, they give that opportunity for everybody to call. How many of you in the US of A did call, go to your congressman to make sure that this resolution do not go into action in favor of La Republic or Federalist? How many of you did call? Unfortunately, we got the result. Despite the fact that it's still what it was voted or discussed, it still needs to be tabled to the Congress. That was the House. That was the House. You have the Congress, so they need to table that resolution to the House. I mean to the Congress. Once it gets to the Congress, they make decisions and it sends to the president. Donald Trump signs it, and that is it. This revolution is not all about. We're not going to succeed this revolution only with sticks. I'm telling you, diplomacy play a 1 billion% in this revolution. Diplomacy calls for every fraction to cease fire. And when order comes from above, it remains, it stays. That is why people don't joke with USA. Because once they say it, once they come out with the final resolution, and they agree that it has to stop, it must stop. I'm telling you people, it must stop. So we still have enough time to do, not really enough time, we still have some time to make sure that we communicate. We communicate the Congress. Go to your Congress house, to your representative. I'm talking this particularly to those who live in the US. Yes, mommy, papa, you where you there for this country where you come, your pikin bring you. You don't get that green card. You take your phone, you call. Even as some person for talk for your ear, you talk. Talk the way you feel talk. They go, yeah. Talk say, no, there are that thing where they say resolution we want to make now independent. Please, we want it to be independent. Just that. I'm calling from Cameroon, Amazonia. That is it. You don't need plenty grammar. That is enough. Okay. Since this particular thing become up, They say make we call, make we make sure that the resolution do not go in favor of La Republic of Federalists. Unfortunately, many people did not call. I mean, thousands of Abazonians did not call. They decided to go on Facebook, insult each other, standing strong for mistakes, instead of correcting mistakes, insulting each other until the bill finally passed or decide. Though the decision has not yet been confirmed. Now we all are suffering. We all are castigating each other because of our mistakes. When we fail to go to Boya, it will not just be Yannick, it will not just be Mark, it will not just be Eric, it will not just be Mr. Sako, it will not just be Mr. Akwanga or Ayabacho or Milan. It will be all Abazonians, even those who have nothing to support in the revolution. Those who have nothing at all, those who are not putting any effort in the revolution, you will suffer as well. So, if you cannot be part of the revolution in actions, you can be part in calling the Congress. That is why we have failed in that department. We have failed. And why I said we have failed, because we all saw the video. It was out there. We heard them. They said, we are calling for pre and unconditional dialogue. The Cameroon will have to remain, but it should become with no condition. That is, if we have to dialogue, everything remains the same. No condition. They shouldn't give condition to A or B. Now they have to go into details into that resolution. They mention Cardinal Tumi's name. Cardinal Tumi left Cameroon. You remember there was a time Cardinal Tumi, Bala, Fontaine, and the rest, they were planning for SCNC something national Southern Cameroon National Conference, something like that. We came up, we debunked it. Mr. Chris Anu came and debunked it. Nobody should go. Before it was supposed to be held in Boya, they said no. We all debunked that conference. We said nothing like that will ever happen. When the resolution came out later on, now it was an opportunity for La Republique to go in there and table in their votes, for nationalists to go there and table in their vote, for federalists to go in there and table their vote. This is what actually happened. When they called for this action, Abazonians failed big time. I'm not talking of any hate. I'm talking of reality. Abazonians, in particular USA, failed big time. Nobody bothered to go to his or a congressman or woman to talk to. Listen, Mr. Fontaine, Mr. Cardinal Tumi, they came with a crew from Cameroon. They went to the White House. Nothing was videotaped. They didn't make this in public. They have their videos with them. They make their voices heard. They came there, they stood for federation. They asked for federation. They said we want Cameroon to remain one and for federation. Let the country be federated. I still don't know if it was the goal of federation is 2-state federation or 3-state federation. Or 10-state federation. I still can't underscore for that particular point. But let me tell you, we failed big time. All the anti-Sardinans, we saw them in Washington the other time when Eric said we should go out and protest with them. We didn't want to because we have nothing to match with them. These anti-Sardinans, they came out in Washington in their numbers, more than 2,000 of them in Washington. You see Maryland one and so Maryland, now why they say Maryland is the heart of Cameroon, because more than 20,000 Cameroonians, including, when I say Cameroonians, everybody, La Republique, then Abazonians lives in Maryland. And that is from Maryland to Washington, D.C. to reach where the White House is, or most of the Congress meeting usually holds in Washington. How many of them go there? How many of them left their comfort zone to go and vote for this resolution? Unfortunately, it was not. Many people underestimated it. You see, many people underestimated it. So, we are not saying that the resolution has been passed completely, but I'm telling you that it might fail us. Don't say it. No, some people say, Yannick, don't say we didn't call. See, when I say we didn't call, it doesn't mean that 5,000 people did not call, for example. If 5,000 call, I congratulate them. They did. Some people misunderstand sometimes. When I say nobody eat today, it doesn't mean some people didn't eat. Some people took breakfast. For sure. And you know, these are the people we want them. You did call. People call. Yes, but we did not call. We did not put our best. Just like we said, people should donate to their counties. Not everybody donate, but donations still go. Just like they said, donate for my trip to Boya. People donate, but not everybody donated. That is it. It didn't mean that nobody called, nobody donated. I'm just saying that the majority wins the vote. So for Fontaine and the rest to come out, Cardinal Tumi left Cameroon. 1 second. Cardinal Tumi left Cameroon. Dr. Fontaine was here the other time. We do not know the crew that came with them. You should understand that the anti-Sardinas, it is very 100% possible. Because they may also stood for federation. Because these are the people for Camto, and they want to have, when it comes to federation, you vote your government. Many people don't understand. You vote who rules you. The president just acts like a figurehead. The government, your government, is being governed by the people who voted you. Like in America, any state of America is a federated state. They have the powers to implement rules of the education, the school curriculum, the government of that state. They decide, not the country, not Yaoundé. So these anti-Sardinas, they prefer to go for federation. They have the right for so many things when they federate. But we, the Abazonians, we are not out for federation. We are out for independence. That is why when the bill came out, they asked everybody to play a role. We did, some did, and some didn't. Some did and some didn't. Do not misquote me because I understand that some people who did call, they'll feel like their effort went in vain. No, you did well, Mama. You did well, Papa. Unfortunately, why I say unfortunately is because the bill could be 50-50 or 60. Don't be surprised that we might be dominated just by 2 votes. It is possible. That is democracy. They don't go by people. They don't go by names. Or Karim Bass. When Karim Bass left United States and went to Cameroon, after we had, I don't know if Eric met with her the other in Congress. She went to Cameroon to go and do her own observation before coming back. When you remember in that resolution, her name was mentioned. 2 of us, her name was mentioned in the resolution. She went to Cameroon, she met with Cardinal Tumi. She met with ministers of La République. She went with Ngong Selin Jongote, even in the presidency. She met with all these people. She met with those who stood for federation. And who even know? She may have had one-on-one with these ministers. They may have talked to her, that Madam President or Miss Selin, Madam Congresswoman. We would prefer you give the federation than to give them independence. Because if you give them independence, this might happen. So many things might have gone wrong out there. When she ended in Yaoundé, they did their diplomacy in Yaoundé. That is why I tell you that diplomacy in this revolution, all our leaders in this revolution who are not taking diplomacy serious, they are all junk. When I say serious, means that they have the opportunity to circulate the power of the government or of the people or of their groups to neutralize it out there so that it can be taken into power. Yet we sit and we wait for things to happen. Then we start acting. We cannot succeed this revolution with even we buy all the 1 million sticks and send it on ground zero. When the decision will be made, you see what happened in Afghanistan, in Middle East, all those areas. Once they pass resolution, they make decisions. The United States now will step in favor of the person. They choose not of what you choose. And we can never defeat anyone with United States, never in the history. Never. Nobody has ever succeeded when it comes to that. We asked you to do your best. You did your best, but your best was not enough. I don't know when I ever hear this statement. You did your best, but your best was not enough. So we are calling on all Abazonians. We may still have some time for you to call. You may still have some time to call. So do your best to call for that resolution. I have said it. That part is off. I don't want to blend this whole thing so that I should not kick into the real business of today. And then people start saying that, how can you ignore a whole resolution that was passed yesterday? That is most important for this show. Before I kick onto the Toms and Jig and A, B, C, D, all the wariness in this revolution, I kicked on it right now. Okay, Abazonians, I guess that part is clear. But again, know that Cardinal Tumi's name was mentioned, the men of God, as you always say, men of God. They came there for the federation, and their names were mentioned in that resolution. Mommy, Papa for Grand Zero. I talk for this particular part, say, Cardinal Tumi for Cameroon become. He came for Congress. We don't know, nobody know. They're not the main noise. Their own action. It speaks for them. We get leaders then. When they fit waka, any for 1 minute, they enter for Congress Day. With everything, you go there every day. You are doing something for the revolution. But we failed to do that part. We failed to initiate that part. But people leave Cameroon, they come here, they do their work, they go them back. So Cardinal Tumi, it never been mentioned for that resolution. We not go fight it. Now it was an open resolution for everybody to call. For everybody to go there, meet their congressman, your congresswoman. You cannot fight for the Cardinal Tumi. Fight yourself. Fight the person whom you believe would have gone there and stood on your behalf. Rather, we cover them. Rather, we promote them. Rather, we come on Facebook, we do live show, and we start pointing finger. Who is the best? Who is not the best? For the past week, 1 month or so, we have been talking of my trip to Boya. I'm getting there right now. I'm getting there. For the past week, we have been talking of my trip to Boya. Or what am I talking about? 1 week? Am I crazy? For a month or so, we have been talking of my trip to Boya. I stood quiet. I respected myself and my environment. I didn't bother. I didn't want it to be part of the show. Now, many people who stood for the revolution in their own terms came up live and started pointing fingers. Even though I decided not to say anything, they started calling names. I will get to that part. But what you should know about my trip to Boya, first and foremost, before I get to my trip to Boya, you should all understand that no matter what we say or discuss here today, that money might never be seen. The money that has been misused, embezzled, siphoned, all the names, scam, schemes, cut, everything that you can equate to what happened. You can do it. It will never, for now, it will never. Because we have people who took close to $181,000. $181,000. These are things that in this country, even doctors that I can say, we can select them. The doctors who are able to be proud of $100,000 in their account. Because people work in this country for true. The money come and go, come and go, come and go. There are so many things. I think for now, some people may be saving because construction works are no longer going on in Amber Land. For one person to take $180,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, I stood on a particular point that was made by who made this statement? Was it Chris or Eric? I think we're on the process of talking. I should get to that point. They mentioned something very important. How did it come to all this my trip to Boya audit? You must know. guys should know, how did it come to audit? When we come to this auditing, if you are there, if you're watching, please you can share. If you can, please do me that favor. If you can share, it all depends on you. Thank you very much. But this is the most important part of the show that I want everybody to hear. That is why I've been condoning myself, waiting for this particular day, and I have to vomit it. And again, if you do not feel comfortable, there's a button you can click on exit. You exit. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, as we go on. When we got to this point of audit, remember very well, there was a time when things were not going right. The agencies, the scopes, then there was one IG, then there was one IG, and now some surrogates who were almost killed. I mean, I've blocked people back then who are strong men. I mean, when I say strong people of IG back then, those who could not see any wrong, they had to come and insult me. I blocked them. Today, those people are sending me inbox, Yannick, come. Please, I've made a mistake. How did you make a mistake? I'm getting to that point. What you should know about those people. Before we came to audit, people had asked for audit. We said, no, we cannot bring out audit at this time. We are still putting things together. We're going to sell out. Or let me not say we. Mr. Chris Anu heard it. We reached out to the IG. Mr. Chris Anu came out and said, no. Audit at this time is not necessary. It's like you are raising your money to defend your land, and you all understand that money will be used to separate your boundaries. That money will be used to buy sugarcane and granite, and then you come and you talk to the public. You give them an account of what you have raised. You tell them how this money, because with audit is breakdown. Yes, for those who lives in US or other parts of the world, when you file your taxes, nobody wants to hear about audit. When IRS sends you a letter that you have been audited or you have been summoned for audit, you panics. Because then you have to start bringing the proofs to prove your case right, that you were right. Whatever you filed in, you were right. So when they talk of audit, then it was rejected. I understand very well that it was rejected for a reason, which Mr. Chris came and said, we cannot come and talk about audit at this time when we are fighting the revolution. There is no need for any audit. We're going to put our last out there. That is the truth. That is the truth. It's not a formulation of anything. Like I said today, it is very clean and transparent. Very open. Very open. Nothing. So, the audit was rejected. Okay. In March of this year. The audit now came up. Who started the audit issue for the audit to come out? Mr. Chris Anu. Yes. And I like the spirit of Mr. Chris Anu back then. He realized that things were not going as planned. Why did Mr. Chris Anu come out with audit? Because they were running behind bills. And they needed money from Tabayang. Tabayang refused to disburse money because he chose to do that. Maybe he wasn't getting an accountability of what the money was being used for. So Mr. Chris feel like, no, we cannot be fighting a revolution. We need money for one or two things, and you are refusing. The audio and the video is there. When Mr. Tabayang came out and said, I refuse to give out money, I will get to that point. Where I will get to that point, let me just give you a heads up how I will get to that point. You remember when Mr. Nicolas Santos resigned, he came out and started talking so many things about the IG, about money. Cuckoo Blinks now invited Tabayang for a live show. And that is just ahead. I'm getting to that part. I am getting to that part. I don't want you to get ahead of what happened. That is just the head of the part. 1 second. So let me see. There's a call coming here. 1992. I don't want you to understand. I'm coming to that part so you know very well. Oh. I want you to understand that particular part. Okay. So, when Mr. Chris, when they came out with that audit, I mean with that part of money, so Mr. Chris Anu needed money. Maybe back then you already know. It's not something I'm formulating. Same in that match. Mr. Chris Anu, after he came out and talked about Tabayang money issue, that same time, Mr. Chris Anu opened the line for ABC for people to call in and raise money for ABC. That is the truth. Whatever I'm saying is the truth, and the videos are there. I'm not formulating. I'm not adding anything. Whatever I'm saying, I've already gathered enough. I know so much that I'm talking to you with full proofs. You can go back and watch it. So when the rest people were calling, giving money, raising money for my trip for ABC, because Tabayang had refused to disburse money. Tabayang had refused to disburse money. Tabayang came on that live show. What did Tabayang said? Tabayang said, we use money to pay bills of ABC, SCBC. We send money to our leaders, the lawyers. You people don't know how much was sent to the leaders in Nigeria. Close to 80 to 100 or 100,000. I'm so shocked that in that audit, they did not even mention that. Or they were playing games. Did you all understand that there was a time they came and did a show? They said we have sent close to 80 to $100,000 for the case of our leaders. The videos are there. But in that audit, it was not mentioned. I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it was the money given to Mr. A, and then he disbursed the money. That was just concluded. Let me make you to understand. Maybe they gave Yannick $20,000 to send it to handle the case with our lawyers. So I did manage to send maybe $2,000 or $5,000. When they want to do me audit, they will say they gave Yannick $10,000. So it's Yannick's place to come and explain that the $10,000 that was given to Yannick gave $5,000 to the court case in Nigeria, $3,000 to this. But if we don't hear from these people, it doesn't change the fact that you have siphoned those money. You have done your best with the money. We know so many things were done. That is why I'm still getting into it. So, when Tabayang came out and debunked disbursing money for all these things, it pisses off Mr. Chris Anu. He becomes frustrated. The Abazonian people become frustrated, if I can put it that way. Because he felt like the ABC TV needed to be paid for. You all understand? Tabayang came out again and said, I refuse to give the money because I see there was no need for 2 TVs. We cannot be paying ABC and we are paying SCBC. Yet he was still paying SCBC. But he claimed he had put an end to all the money. He stopped disbursing that money. This is message. When I find there where Mr. Nicolas Santos be resigned, just within that time frame, we go see a video where Kuku Blinks interview Tabayang. Then the IG was one. I'm still coming to where the IG started getting into big troubles with Mr. Sako. I'm coming to that part. That is the biggest blow you want to know, and how people change overnight in this revolution. So, when Mr. Chris Anu came out, when Mr. Chris Anu came out, even after all, Mr. Chris Anu came in about the money, that was even after Tabayang. After Tabayang had refused. When did Mr. Adiman resign? I'm confusing. But it's within that period. I'm telling you all. It's within that period. And either Tabayang came on first and did that show. Maybe Kuku Blinker understand. Did that show before Chris Anu came on later on, because Mr. Tabayang could not give money. Yes, Tabayang refused to give money to the people. So when Tabayang refused, Mr. Chris said, okay, this is money that has been raised. They understand the amount of money that was raised. That we are talking about part of my trip to Boya. Do not also forget that Mr. Tabayang was also the secretary when Mr. Sako was here in arrested. They were not arrested with money. Were they? Were they arrested with money? You remember, they traveled the whole town. The USA, Europe, here in California. We Californians, we are proud. We were able to raise $21,000 one night. One night. We raised $21,000 during the time of Mr. Sako. Now, why now when I see some picture where they put me a bend down at the Salon Sako? Yes, that is how we rule with people. We believe for independence. We believe for change. We give them money because we understand. Yet, that money was never accounted for. Tabayang was still the financial secretary of that particular budget. Have you asked question? Where did that money end? Did he spend the money all only to pay SCBC bills? Where did the money go to? Now again, the stupid government, I don't know if I should say the stupid leaders or the stupid people, did not even bother. Or it shouldn't be stupid. Let me put it. Maybe they said there was no need to see your brother who is in prison and you are asking for accountability. We let go. They maintained Tabayang again. They trusted him. They kept giving him money. It got to this point that things were not going. This time around, the people have risen. Every person who gave his dime for my Tip Duboya stood up. It was quiet. When Mr. Chris brought up the idea, people stood up. They said enough is enough. We must know the accountability. We must get a result of what was done. Because we see boys on Ground Zero turning around with den guns. Where did my money go to? So now there was no way to withdraw that statement. Mr. Chris Anu projected it very well. From that day, it becomes viral. That was March 2019. This year. The video is there. You can go there and search. Now, we have waited for the audit. We waited for that audit for a very long time. They keep pushing it. They said today they have this, tomorrow they have that, they have this, until the people blocked. We even forget. It got to a point that we forget about the thing. We were pushing our counties. Even me here. I came on live. I received insult. I told you people that, listen, this money was used and it was mismanaged. When I say mismanaged, we have seen videos of people. You can send money to somebody to build your house in Ground Zero. Build me 1 bedroom with 2 bathrooms. The person built 1 bedroom with half bathroom. He actually did the job. He mismanaged, or he used his stole part of the money. Or he used $10,000 to build just a bathtub. That is mismanagement. But yet, as from now, it is a no-no. I said no-no. I will not underscore or categorize on that particular point that it was mismanaged. Why? Because those who are involved, till today that the audit has been released, none of them have come out. Even Mr. Chris, who was so eager, willing, anxious to know the audit, Mr. Chris' name was mentioned for $60,000. $60,000 was given to Mr. Chris Anu. John Egyawang, about $181,000. Kalesh Mbonga, about $50,000. Again. I'm just calling the names that I will talk on. These are the names that I'm, John Egyawang, Kalesh Bongo. I just want to come up with points that you people will know. Mr. Chris Anu. Okay. Seeing the audit come out, and Mr. Chris Anu was willing to know about the audit report. Has Mr. Chris come on air to say, okay, yes, I received, they gave me $60,000. He hasn't debunked it. Mr. Chris has not refused that $60,000 was not given to him. Unlike others who are still quiet. Yes, because if it was a lie, Mr. Chris Anu would have come out and said it. So Mr. Chris Anu had received $60,000 based on the audit. Based on the audit result, he received $60,000. We urge, in as much as we are calling on others like me, strongly calling on Tabayang, which I'm going to get to that point. We are begging for Mr. Chris Anu. Mr. Chris Anu had the opportunity to also come and tell us, yes, the 60,000 was given to me. It was utilized in this way, in this aspect. Then we understand and we see that truly it was used for these reasons. That is how, when they call you for a problem, you want to clear your name, you have to come out. If they mention Yannick now, if they had mentioned that Yannick received $1,000, truly I received $1,000, I would have come and do a video. Because this nowadays, the gone are the days that we were trying to hide our responsibilities. Gone are the days that we were trying to hide the truth. No. When I say hide the truth, meaning that you have been called for a reason. They have pointed fingers on you. They have said they gave you this amount of money. You have failed, you have refused to come and explain what was done. That was the audit. Now what is accountability? They audited you, they gave you, when IRS audits you, they ask you to show proof. You don't give the proof, they add charges. They add charges. So whatever you are paying that money maybe almost double if you don't pay it on time. But if you have the things to explain to IRS now one big name for the country, now tax. For this country, even picking one born in today, it pay taxes. Everything you buy at the market, you are paying your taxes. But at the end of the year, we find taxes. If you make fraud, if you talk, you are true. Let me not put it fraud. You say you're honest true for your taxes. IRS discover and say, your taxes, and this man make a lot of money, enough for being a so. But you get the honest proof, they audit you. If you send all those proofs, you have already told the IRS that you did this thing for this reason, and they will let you go. They have already called you in for the audit. Now it's all left for you to put in the document to free yourself. Mr. Chris Anu, Kalesh Bongo, John Egyawang, Tabayang, I'm coming for things like where did they money for defense? The defense that you said you send money to a particular person, a communique was signed and sent to you, and you disburse that money. I'm coming to that part. Okay, we haven't heard from Mr. Chris Anu to come and explain to us. You people should understand that I'm not calling any person for a negative thought. What I'm saying is the truth that has already been said. We urge Mr. Chris Anu to come and talk about the 60,000, how it was used. If he used it for the TV, good and fine. But we cannot just assume, or else we have to assume for any other person. Yes, if we assume that the 60,000 that was given to Mr. Chris Anu was used for the TV, then let's just assume that everybody used the money, everybody that money was given to was used for the revolution. Let's assume that the money that was given to Kalesh Bongo was used for refugees, and they will sit quiet. They will sit quiet. Let Tabayang as well come in and tell us how and where did he end up with the part of the money that was left over. And after he refused to disburse money, well, somebody call. Not time for call right now, my people, I beg. So it is all left for them to come and tell us. Okay, let me get to this point. Mr. Sako's name was not mentioned. Mr. Sako's name was not mentioned for the audit at all. 1,000%. His name was not mentioned. Meaning that he walked free. All right. There was a question in Joshua Carr's show. Joshua Carr asked a question to Mr. Tabayang. Mr. Joshua Carr asked a question to Mr. Chris or to Dr. Sako. You people took on that question and you started calling Joshua Carr that he's stupid, or how can he come and ask a classified question? My people, we die and perish in this revolution because of classified. What are you still hiding? What are you still hiding in this revolution that you call classified? How many classified things have been heard out there, yet nothing has been tabled? When they ask a question, Joshua Carr came and asked the question you say was classified. In as much as Mr. Sako did not go into details of that question, what did Mr. Sako say? Mr. Sako said certain things have to be kept quiet. And let the Tabayang come and face the truth. Let the Tabayang come and face them or him. But there's one point I want to make about Mr. Sako right now, which is very important. Dr. Sako, names have been called in this IG for the audit. And all the people who sit and we understand that we have a government. Let me ask you this question. Names were called. Yet, we have focused on Tabayang. And I still got to go there clean. What about John Egyawang, who is right there next to you, Mr. Sako? You have said, even Mr. Chris Anu, I've been so shocking and surprised that John Egyawang, his name has not been mentioned. Even in Joshua Carr's show, Mr. Sako came and he kept mentioning Tabayang. Yeah, Tabayang had embezzled money, but he did not embezzle all the money himself. The part, let's say it was 3,000 given to ABC, those names that were mentioned. I am still here to hear from Mr. Sako or from Mr. Chris Anu to say we are calling on these people to come out and talk about this money. We haven't heard that at all. That is the biggest problem I'm facing right now with Mr. Sako that I do not condone. I do not condone. Many of you may see that it is right. No. Mr. Sako have all the right to bring in Tabayang. I'm sorry. Yes, Tabayang, if I can put it. John Egyawang. John Egyawang in the audit was one of the person who received most of the money. Most of the money when it comes to that audit. But his name has not even been mentioned. I remember a time Mr. Chris Anu came live and talked about $4,000 that was given to Professor Anyangwe. $4,000. And people pick on that. They started cautioning Anyangwe for $4,000. They call Anyangwe all kind names. See, my people, in this revolution, we must understand there will come a time that you need to ask questions. There will come a time that you will understand that you do not just need to agree on everything. Because there are mistakes that might lead us into bigger problems. When Mr. Charles Anyangwe's name was mentioned for $4,000, I remember the time. Whatever I'm saying is what I know with proofs. Everything, the videos are there. They talk about $4,000 that it was given to Mr. Charles Anyangwe. My people fell on Mr. Anyangwe's head. They said this man is that, this man. They called him all kind of names for $4,000. For $4,000. Today, they have mentioned 60,000, 180,000, 190,000. You people have failed to call those people. You are driving a lot of effort to Tabayang. Yes, Tabayang is one. If we call people, we need to know all of them. We cannot just summarize on one person. That is my problem. That is my problem. That is why I'm talking like this. When 4,000 was given to Charles Anyangwe, to Professor Anyangwe, you people who are not even of any standard, you called him, you insulted him, you say he took $4,000 for what? For what kind of diplomacy? We have no proof that he did any diplomacy, but yet 4,000 was given. Why did you endorse that statement? You endorsed that statement because it came from Secretary Chris Anu. You endorse it. Had it been, that statement came from Ayavacho, it came from Bohebet, it came from Akwanga, maybe it would have been ignored. My people, now, I'm not saying that you do not have the right to ask for 4,000. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you do not have the right to ask for 4,000. Right? In as much as you have the right to ask for 4,000, you have that same right to ask for 181,000 from John Egyawang. But yet, Mr. Sako had not even 1 minute or Chris Anu 1 second called for John Egyawang in the public. You and I know that very well. When it comes to this, what happened when excuse me, what exactly happened when this girl Nalovabi When Nalova came out, there was a time when even here Mr. Sako said $2,000 or $3,000 was sent to him, to her, so that she could take care of her bills. That money came from my trip to Boya. That was a good move, and we applaud that. Today, we have people called, names called, with hundreds of thousands of dollars. We are yet to call them to come to that ABC and do a live show like this and get interviewed and explain to the people how the money was used. Yet we concentrate the energy on Tabayang. I am still coming to Tabayang. Yes, we focus the energy alone. We need to do division of labor when it comes to accountability. Do the division of labor. You call this man call this man, we bring them all to order. We don't just categorize on one particular person. And we keep, how much? How much is missing? How much is needed? Have we failed? Yes. But now we did not want to call for account for audit. Now that the audit came, I stood quiet. People come with their talks. This one was talking this, this one was talking this. Now I have to talk as well. I have to talk too, because I am part of the revolution and I am part of those who raised money. Still for this my trip to California alone. California took, Mr. Sako was here. We took how many days? We raised $20,000 still for that my trip to Boya. Would I speak for the people of California? Don't you think that they love to still give money? They love to give money back because you came out with audit. Many people, me myself, I wrote so many times, I say, let go of the audit things. Let go of the audit. Let go of the audit because this audit will bring more problems. But since they were refusing to disburse money, Mr. Sako, Mr. Chris Anu said the audit must be reported. Now it came up, people are now breaking heads from B to Z while Ground Zero is feeling the pains. That is the truth. All right. Let me come to this. I've gone into so much detail of that particular point. As of now, what I really bet on you people is for IG, our government. Yes. I'm not saying that there is not, listen, I'm calling on IG to please. When I say IG, I mean you and I. That is a government. The people are the government. To call on this person, John Egyawang, to appear for that audit immediately. Not to appear on ABC TV like what I'm doing and talk to the people. Explain to the people where and how the money was used. Maybe there are so many people, so Foncha, Chris Mongam. These are media people. These are media people who were playing media rules. Some of this money was given to them by these people whose name were mentioned. But if you don't come and talk to the people, we will not understand what is going on. We will still hold you accounted for the money. Or accountable for the money. So that is just the truth. Do not sit and stay quiet. Come out on ABC and talk to the people who gave you the money. Okay, go to College Mongo. My people, the same you who are writing your kind of comment, you are confused, you are crazy, you are this. Listen to me very well and very attentively. When I want to take Kalesh Bongo and Kalesh Bongo and Mr. Nicolas Santos, I want to show you people some balance in here. When Kalesh Bongo resigned, when Nicolas Santos resigned, I want you who support everything to know that what goes around turns and comes back around and it will choke you very badly. I will get to that part of Eric. I will get to the part of Eric. When I will get there, that's where you explode. When Dr. Nicolas Santos resigned and said, I know a lot that you people may not know, despite the fact that I come every day, I write, I put things for you people to know what is going on in the revolution, you think maybe I'm dumb. No. When Dr. Nicolas Santos resigned, he resigned and started calling IG Sako all kinds of names, this, that, B, Z. Why? Okay, what happened? What happened? Everybody in the IG picked on Nicolas Santos. They said Mr. Nicolas Santos wanted Kalesh Bongo. Then Nicolas Santos said, who is Kalesh Bongo? Kalesh Bongo was just an LVN. And he is a doctor. And they gave the post as the coordinator or whatsoever of health and social service for Kalesh Bongo. Mr. Nicolas Santos, people narrated it in so many ways. Mr. Nicolas Santos even came and talked so many things about Kalesh Bongo. That Kalesh Bongo is related to the secretary of this in the IG, to the this of this in the IG. You and I, who are still here, we were supporting the IG. Yeah, yes, it's our government. We thought Nicolas Santos was saying all these things for pleasure or for entertainment. What happened? Recently, Kalesh Bongo has completely detached herself from the current IG when Mr. Sako came up with another government. You have seen Kalesh writing things, putting things out there in court. Now, Kalesh Bongo is speaking the same tongue, like the same language like Nicolas Santos. The same Nicolas Santos who almost finished the life of Kalesh Bongo. You and I, we came and we stood on Kalesh. We talk on Kalesh's behalf. We become enemy with Mr. Nicolas Santos because we were favoring Kalesh in the IG. Yes. So anything IG, we favor him. Anything IG, we favor him. No, we cannot kick a post. We don't kick against anything IG. That is why we are suffering today. That is why. Because when Santos talks so many things about Kalesh, many activists, I know them, I don't even want to start mentioning their names, especially the girls, the female activists. They were uplifting Kalesh. Even myself, I did a show with Mr. Santos. I brought Mr. Nicolas Santos for a show. We did a one-on-one show. He said, Yannick, I am telling you all these things. If you want to take it, take it. But I said Kalesh did this. Money were not disbursed as it was, according to this, because people narrated it that Santos wanted powers. Right? Good. Today, you have become enemy with Santos. You have become enemy with Dr. Santos because of who? Kalesh. Right now, Kalesh and Santos, they are talking the same language. Dr. Santos and Kalesh, they are talking the same language. They are now with Sako. All of them have a balance. Who is a fool? You are the fool. We are the fool. Those who could not see the truth and say it, we become the fool right now. Because Kalesh, if you put Kalesh and Santos right here, I mean, Dr. Sako and Santos right now, Kalesh will slap Mr. Sako and embrace Mr. Santos. Despite the fact that Mr. Santos came and did a show and talked so many things about Kalesh and we covered it. Because we said she was doing a great job for the IG. Nothing, anything IG, we don't need for correct them. We need for just lift them up. That is the problem. Today we become fools because the same people we protected, they are now back. They are now good friends. That is it. Now so life there. You did today with some person very well. Because some man can bring some trouble, you hate that man, you like the man. Tomorrow they become best of friends, you become the loser. That is how 90% of some people in the IG as of today are doing. They don't see things that could be called. They only realize the mistakes after they have turned against them. When Mr. Sako dropped the new government, so many of these people who were there for the IG and we were clapping for them, they separated. They now become part of Mr. Yerisma's government, Mr. Sako's government, governed by under the leadership of Yerima for the time being right now. You see the problem we are facing in this revolution. These are the problems we are facing today. Kalesh cannot even talk one-on-one with any person in the IG. And when I talk any person like Chris Anu, Honoringwa, Mr. Sako, they cannot. But these are people who were signing communiques for money to be disbursed. These are people who were agreeing. These are people who stood together and said, you know what? Santos goes out and start calling you names, we stood for you. Today, it has 10. The college is not even for the IG. It's not even for the one IG that we all know. She's for the number 2 IG with Mr. Santos. Of course. Mr. Nicolas Santos is playing his own role under Mr. Siko's government. That is the problem. So when we sit and we clap hands, like some person say hand clappers. Mr. Santos said that. Some people are hand clappers instead of making corrections. They clap. Anything, they clap. When it turns around, we start insulting each other. Whereas we are the biggest problem. That is the truth. Let me take it into this other part. I think I've clarified that part with Mr. Santos. Let me take it to Mr. Mark Bareta. Mark Bareta did a show, I think on Sunday. When Mark Bareta did that show, he said so many things. He even mentioned some things that were 100% comfortable, some were not even comfortable. I wrote to Mr. Mark Bareta. I said, thank you. You put on a good show, but the message is here. That was all. I did not mean that everything Mark Bareta said was 100%. Why did I say that to Mark Bareta? I said to Mark Bareta that whatever you did was good because I have my points. There are 2 points. I don't tell what I said for this show. I don't summarize things. It flow down. I didn't have a Mark. I can't down before I reach for Eric. When Mark talked that thing, I call Mark. I tell Mark, say, okay, you don't do a show. Don't even kind of call my brother Mola Litunje, Wonja in name for something where I don't know. I don't feel categorize on that because I don't know where to go on. But there'll be a show coming where you gonna be one-on-one interview with Mola, with Wonja, Eric Tataw, even the Mark. I will bring them one-on-one. That will be sitting on the hot seat, Abazonian hot seat. One-on-one interview. Now me, I go grant them for them. So that time become. But Mark take on this Mark issue. Mark mentioned 2 things where I be really here. It take me when it comes to that ID card and some statement when Dr. Sako be making. It be make a lot of sense for me. First, the statement when Mr. Dr. Sako be making. Wait till today. Maybe I beg. If I don't lose sense, maybe I don't be follow the show. When maybe Mr. Sako don't can correct him, when he tell me, I stand strong to be corrected. Nobody is perfect. When I remember there was a time Mr. Sako promised about a national football. That's not Mark be talking. That promise till today it has never come to action. It do show about 2 or 3 show it reiterate on that particular thing. We were happy that we can play an international football and be recognized. Of course, it was till today. I don't know what happened. Those are promises that maybe it fell upon arrival or whatever. I don't know. Like I said, I stand to be corrected. If that was ever, if Mr. Sako don't ever can change that statement when I fit tell me, best way know when I fit tell me, but as I stand strong, I quite remember that say that statement where we talk, I never ever see the football till today. I never see the football till today. So now just the point that, and the point that I will say, yes, Mark Bareta, you bring up that point, it will make a lot of sense. I don't know what way it happened, but as I talk, if there was a change that was made, maybe I not get them when I feel tell me. I thought because when I mention Mark Bareta in him, I know why me can't be like say Yannick, we say thank you for showing. Then you talk a different thing. No. Number 2 thing why I be saying say Mark Bareta talk away it make sense. One thing again, another ID card thing. Where they on the sense why they talk for them asset. The sense why they talk asset. The same ID card or the same passport where it be being brought up by maybe Ayabacho. Oh we, even me, I talk say how come people that for Grand Zero need ID card? They said the knowledge where Ayabacho on me bring at that time. I say people that for Grand Zero begin for carry ID card will be very risky. That is the truth. It be very risky for people for Grand Zero for get Abazonian ID card for Grand Zero. That one it been a dangerous thing. We all debunked it. It was a bad idea brought up by Mr. Ayabacho. Yes, we fought for it and it was never put in action. The passport, in as much as it be there to so, we also debunked it. The reason when Mark Bareta talk, it talk Naseti. It talk say they become people that become castigate and say why I have a choker for come out with things and then today IG they come with the same ID card. Yeah, the reason why people be debunked that because say Ground Zero be part of it. But Mr. Chris Anu said this current ID card it has nothing to do with Ground Zero. Where I understand them very well. Now for the way that statement be covered. If Mr. Chris Anu said this Ground Zero get for make this ID card as well, if for being a bad news. Enough for be anything different from what I have actually be introducer. So now another thing I be call Mark Bareta I discuss. I mean, why be looking for a show? I say okay, these two things make sense for me for talk on. Mark Bareta also talk something. Mark Bareta insists even your Eric they get some 2 points there they make all the time, and I will come to that point. I don't understand. Mark Bareta said Mr. Sako is a very good man. Now all of the people surround him. Yet, he go again, he say, there is no government. If they don't even deny this thing, they don't deny this government, they don't know what size government come again. And then I said there are two governments. Now, if that be confused with my brother Mark Bareta, you said there is no government as a whole. Now you said there are two governments. And you have chosen your side. Sisiko's side is the best, yes. But is Sisiko's side not a government? It is a government. So now, if there's a confusion there, if you choose Sisiko's side, and then you are endorsing a government. But let me make this very clear. Let me make it clear. There's just one government in this Abazonian revolution. One. There's just one government, not two. One government. Any other government is just a fraction. I'm coming to bring up a point. When I get to Eric Tataw, I will now open the chapter of all the government things and what we discussed and a show that we put on together that never succeeded, or it did succeeded to an extent. So you said there are two government and you choose there are no government. Then later on you said there are two government. These are what statement from Mark Bareta. Later on you said there are two government. And one government is from Sako and one government is from Sako. And Sako is not a bad man. Just the people surrounding Mr. Sako, they are the bad people. So what is the point? I don't understand. I get confused. When you say there is no government, and then yet you say there are two government. I refuse anything government, yet you agree there are two government and you are part of the other government. It makes sense. I don't understand. I need clarification. I need clarification. That is just the point. Then now it go to the point of Mr. Eric Tataw, Abazonian. My people will not listen. When I say Eric Tataw, now that one person where you and I will get for appreciate and will get for debunk. When I say appreciate, and you get for distance, you get for humble, you get for embrace it, all these things them, like charismatics, the way it come with Eric. Either you embrace Eric, you debunk it, you consider it an enemy, you spare it away from your side. All these are the characteristics for Eric. Why I talk so? Why I talk so about the Eric issue? When me and Eric, when I remember time when Mr. Sako come out with this government, when Mr. Sako come out with the second government, what happened? I called for some show. Eric talk 30. That show, all them be confused, even with Joshua Carr. They say they never understand what they go on, but they will not talk on it. They will not say anything, but they be confused. And Eric said, oh, is that no government can rule, Sako can never rule from jail. That was his point. Okay, as times moves on with Eric, what did Eric come up with later on? Eric was quiet for some time. We offer Eric Facebook account to use. He used them judiciously. He said whatever he was supposed to say. But the speediness, when I say the speediness, meaning the speed at which things were flowing, were going in the direction of no to Sako, and people started hating Sako, and the impeachment and everything. Finally, Eric decided, you know what? The things that I said I will not talk, I will start talking. Now, Eric come out to make we understand that, yes, he is with Sako 1,000,000%. He agreed with everything that Sako said or did. He's 100%, but all is that Sako cannot rule from Koningi. That is just the truth. And that was his statement. Those are the statements of Eric, that Sako cannot rule from prison. We take it seriously. They had a conference call. They had a meeting with Sako, Mr. Sako, and other people. According to Eric and Joshua Carr, they said in that meeting, the leaders and the adults, when I say adult, this were papa them. They were more in denials. There were total disagreement in the meeting where they get them with some of the activists. They part them when they did for the revolution. Now they be mostly kick against everything, despite the fact that they be trying to bring one united Abazonian government. But the point now with Eric, where I come to realize and I said it, when Mr. Sako he talk about this government, about Yerima, Eric felt one thing, to look where the problem is coming from. Eric did not look at the problem. Now he endorsed the problem. Get me very well. Eric did not look critically into the problem. That what Mr. Sako was doing was dangerous for the revolution. To create a second government. To come up with another vice president. These are mistakes that Eric would have looked at and said, listen, the current IG was in one, they were doing fine. You must look where the problem is coming from. The problem actually came from Koningi. When the government came up, listen, when the government came up, that is where the problem started. If I am lying, I told you in this show, that if you cannot stand it, you will leave it. And I'm going around the clock. Everything I'm touching. The problem, we were peaceful. Everything was going very well. They did their show. Sorry. They did their conference. It was classified conference as usual. Later on, they brought it to the media. They involved everybody. It becomes a general problem. Right? When they brought up that government, there was a current government that was existing. They came with that problem and added it to the current problems. Now it becomes a big problem that we cannot handle. It erupted from all angles. It brought tears. Many people are crying today because the second government, back then, remember, we were fighting. Listen, last time we were fighting just one person. We were attacking one person. That was AGC. They were saying AGC is not good. AGC is good. AGC is not good. Now, AGC is not even mentioned. Now it's Mr. Sako and Mr. Sako. But who brought the problem? The problem was introduced by who? Mr. Sako. Because he came up with a government at the time that we are trying to fix things. Now, we live in three fractions. We either try to fight with Sako or we try to fight with Sako. That is the point. So when what Eric does is that Eric is very good to say things as it is, as it was. Then later on, if he makes his mistakes, Eric will go and apologize easily. Eric will apologize later on to come with his unity. You remember there was a day I was doing this show with Eric. I was talking about unity. I tried to look at the root cause of the problem. Eric said, no, Yannick, we cannot talk about the cause of the problem. Let's talk on unity. Let's focus on unity. Let's focus on unity. That was the point. I was shocked again when Eric came up and put on shows. Eric has done about 3-4 shows on a row. The first day, when Eric came live, he talked about Tabayang. When Eric talked about Tabayang, he brought Sako in. He talks a lot about Sako, so many things about Sako. Then Tabayang too was mentioned. The second day, Eric came live and he talked just about Sako. Tabayang name was not mentioned. Then I begin to ask myself questions. Where has Tabayang suddenly disappeared in Eric's mouth? The Tabayang that you came the first day, you brought his name and you called him to order. You wanted justice. You wanted him to refund the money. Second day you did a show, Tabayang's name was not mentioned. Third day you did a show, Tabayang's name was not mentioned. Fourth day, Tabayang's name was not mentioned. That is the problem. I thought maybe there was something to use to bring up justice. Meanwhile, many facts were also hidden. Not everything was mentioned. And tomorrow, what will happen? The truth about this whole scenario is that tomorrow, Eric, you see Eric, that is why at times I call ourselves that because we belong, we can never see anything wrong with the other side. That is it. From the comment you will see, now that I'm talking about something, they have changed. They were hailing me. Now they are de-hailing me. So look at what happened. Eric had called, insult, Ayabacho, had said every sort of thing to Mark Bareta, Tapang Aibo, Capo Daniel, everybody, you all know. And you all were hailing Eric. We were cheering for Eric for doing all that. Later on, they called Eric, that Eric was bringing unity. Later on, they said Eric was a pastor, Pastor Eric, because he's fighting for unity. They didn't want that to happen. Now, Eric, go behind. He even did a live show and called for these people and publicly apologized to them. Who becomes a fool? You and I. You that was hailing Eric for insulting Ayabacho. You that was hailing Eric for insulting Akwanga. You that was hailing Eric for insulting Tapang Aibo. What goes around has certainly turns around. What goes around has certainly turns around. Now those who were insulting Eric when he was insulting Ayabacho and Akwanga, now they are the one hailing Eric, sharing the post. You become stupid. We not think for this revolution, no follow some person go enter hole die. No follow some person go enter hole die. No be anything. Eric will do his things. He will apologize. Tomorrow they become best of friends. Yeah. Eric now to my understanding, Eric will be the best friend now with Ayabacho. But you will not be a best friend with Ayabacho because Eric had put so many bad things in your mind about Ayabacho. In Eric, you hear me? Yeah, because what I talk not be lie. Eric had put so many things. When I said bad thing, you know me like in real bad things. You know, maybe his influence, his voice. Eric's voice has put so many bad influence about Ayabacho in your mind. Now you could be thinking so many bad things about Ayabacho just because of Eric. Just because Eric makes you to understand that Ayabacho was this type of person. Ayabacho was evil. Eric and Mark Bareta was evil. Yeah! Mark Bareta, you remember back in the days of Sunday offering? Eric Tataw almost killed Mark Bareta. Mark Bareta cried in his bedroom. Yeah! Mark Bareta called us to say, Yannick, I beg, when I beg Eric, making it sabotage my name. When I beg Eric. But today, you hated Eric. I mean, Mark Bareta back then, because Eric influenced you, because Eric gave you the go-ahead, because you lifted him that time. Today, what happened? What goes around, turns around. What goes around, turns around. Just like this. That is it. How many of you today hate Milan? How many? See, let me tell you something. Do you all know that Milan? I'm still coming back to Eric, but I'm trying to teach you people to understand that when you help people, when they turn against you, it's either you look at it in a positive way, as you have been looking the other things, and stay quiet, or you just hate the person from day one until the revolution ends. Get me very well. When Mr. Milan, listen, when Mr. Milan, when we all gathered, we said Milan was the one who sold our leaders. Milan Ham was part of those who gave our leaders to La Republique. What happened to that particular thing. Everybody, we influence the IG. We send so many things to the IG that IG, you have to, listen, you have to fire Milan. Milan is the killer. Milan sold our IG, our Naira 10. Milan did everything. Later on, Milton Takang, since they are in South Africa, Milton Takang had to join the scope. The scope team was handled by Milan. What happened? Milan becomes part of the enemy. Milton Takang become part of the enemy. All of them were fired from the IG. Later on, there was a show they did. I don't know if it was Mr. Sako or Mr. Siko or Mr. Chris who came and said, we made a mistake to fire him, to take out Mr. Milton Takang from the government. You hear that? That was it. We made a mistake to take out Mr. Milton Takang because of what? You are the people influencing things. You push things even at the point that you see that things are not right. You keep pushing them. And then later on you regret. Today, we have castigated Milan. We have called him all kind of names. When Mr. Sisiko for one day has never revealed any document quoting Milan that Milan was the sellout, that Milan sold them. But we have created enemies on behalf of Sisiko for Milan. See, this case is very transparent. How we hate people because of others. You are enemy to them or with Milan because of Mr. Sisiko. But yet, Mr. Sisiko had never called Milan a thief or a sellout. Now, you are now back an enemy with Mr. Sisiko. That is how we are doing crazy things in the revolution. Yeah, for 1 minute, Mr. Sisiko had released so many documents from Koninge prison. So many documents. For 1 second, he had never said there were the reason. He had never mentioned the reason of the arrest. Milan name has never been mentioned for anything. But yet we are enemies of Milan because of Mr. Sisiko. Today now, you are enemy with Sisiko because of Sako, and you are enemy with Sako because of Sisiko. And you were the one cheering up. You better stand strong for yourself and for the revolution. I am telling you, these people will still go around and make up their friendship and life will move on. You will become the jungle loser. I am telling you people the truth. The things that have been impacted on your brain by Eric. Oh my goodness. You have hated people in this revolution because of Eric. You were hailing Eric. The good thing is that Eric will do what he does and he will apologize to those people. Life will move on. You will remain in that zombie, sad, evil jungle. You remain there forever. Nobody knows you. His face is out there. So when he brings, when he said things, he will later apologize and life will move on. Today, Eric and Mark, they are 1,000,000,000% in good stance. Yes, they are 1,000,000,000% in good stance. But when Eric was talking about Sunday offering, about Mark Bareta is a thief, Mark has never done this, they stole money for consortium, they did this with this, you were hailing Eric. You now God send you for the revolution. Child, my brother, now God send you Eric. Woo! Eric, you be the best. Eric, now God send you for the revolution. If not be you, Eric, the revolution for don't die. Right? The same Eric did the same thing now. Everything don't chakara. Everything don't chakara. So it means that when Eric be talking all those times, it be been a bad things or it be been a good things. My people, there is a time we need to take some things for the truth and it will save us. We are not saying that everything that Eric said is true or everything that Eric said is a lie. No. But you must understand that if you love somebody and you want to know about that person, stick to what he's saying. If you believe he was telling the truth of what Ayabacho did and Akwanga, so should you believe that whatever he's saying now is the truth. No, that is the point. If you believe, say where Eric been talk about Ayabacho, are the best thing, and you be the hell ye. So what is difficult for you to believe what he's saying now? I want you to make your judgment, not me. Not me. I am not the one to make that judgment for you. You should make yourself that judgment. Ask yourself that question, because you are enemy today. Some of you cannot even stand face in face with any person in the AAGC. Nobody. Because you were hailing Eric. But today Eric says why? Let unity reign. But when Eric talks about unity, every day he comes and talks about Sako, it makes no sense to me too. When you want unity, okay, the audit is out, everything has been revealed. Let's wait for the result. Let's see what they will do. Sako, 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 Sako every day. Nothing is changing. Nothing is adding. People are dying. Resolution 358 is passing. Federalists are making a point. We are arguing. We are calling Sako. We are calling Chris Anu. We are calling everybody. Meanwhile, we would have come together and make lasting solutions to the problems. That is the truth. That is the truth. So when we start distracting and shifting the brain, see, okay, let me talk on this. I put a small post there. Many people said, let's Dr. Sako resign. Many of you said, let's Dr. Sako resign. Dr. Sako should resign. Let Dr. Sako resign. Should Dr. Sako resign, we have people. I would have loved if he, like Mr. Sako, make that decision. Yeah. I cannot be in a position where I'm receiving court, everything, every day, and assistance strong. This revolution is not a revolution for one person's trouble. Do not take all the problems and be receiving insult for nothing. Make a choice. We get some Mr. Ate. I don't know that grand friend name. I don't know, these are big grand friends who can sit and also make decisions and say, hey, I will find time and even talk with that grand. If he can at times handle situations like this. I will not sit somewhere they're insulting me every day. Every day, and then I stay there. What am I benefiting? What am I benefiting? This revolution, I can sit aside. I can sit aside if I want to. Tell the people, you know what? Listen. I am not suggesting, or I'm not telling Mr. Sako to resign. I'm just saying, what if I was in that position and people are asking me all these things, telling all kind of stories about me, bringing my names in things that I'm not even versed with? I would have made my decision. I don't know if it would be the best decision or the bad decision, but I'm telling you all to understand that these are situations that we all need to come together and see and work with it. If you believe in your government, work according to how the government is supposed to function. Yes, sorry, I'll be trying to read some comment today. Yeah, people say Dr. Sako will stay Tiboya. I am not saying that Mr. Sako to resign. When I say I don't receive insults so many times because of Mr. Sako, it's not a problem. Dr. Sako can stay till we get to Boya, even becomes the president of Abazonian. I don't have one problem. The people have the decision. Nothing. I am not saying that Mr. Sako should resign. I said, if I were Mr. Sako, I would not be receiving insult for nothings. Accusation for nothings. That is my point. I did not say, Mr. Sako, you have to resign now. No. Mr. Sako have advisors. That is the point. What am I benefiting? That is the point. If I am benefiting, I don't have any point to resign. If I am not benefiting, I should resign. That is the truth. Why they need getting insult? People like us, we are activists. Okay, this one important thing that I almost forgot. This thing that happened in Koningi. You people should see at what happened in Koningi. This video that happened in Koningi, I beg, this was one of the most important things. I almost forgot it. Thank you for remembering me. This thing happened in Koningi. There were two videos that came out from Koningi. If you notice, for a long time now, some people have been calling me Yannick. You are 2 side callers. No, I'm not 2 side callers. I am 20 side callers. Una record it part. Yannick is not 2 side callers. I am 20 side callers. And why you want to know why I am 20 side callers? You know why they call me 20 side or 2 side callers? Let me tell you. You know I have a page called Amber Go Viral. Maybe those who know. I post things for everybody. When Ayabacho talks, I post it there. When Akwanga talks, I post it there. When Dr. Sako talks, I post it there. When Mr. Chris Anu talks, I post it there. When Tabayang Ivo talks, I post it there. When Eric Tataw talks, I put it there. When Bessie Mary talks, I put it there. Kukubi, everybody. Now they want to control me. The video that came from Koningi, there were 2 videos. There was one video that they were giving hell to Sisiko. People were appreciating Sisiko for what he did. They were thanking him. They were hailing his name in prison. And there was another video that came and they were talking against Bareta. This is what happened. When I put those 2 videos, the people called me and said, Yannick, I am very stupid to put those 2 videos. Why didn't I just put only the video of Mr. Sisiko that they were hailing him? The other people called me, Yannick, why didn't you just put only the video of the one that they called Bareta and they said, our leaders are not in prison? My people, that is how they call me 2 side callers. These are their judgment. These are their judgment. This is how they judge me. Because I put things of people for the revolution. Yannick is for the people on Ground Zero. I don't care what you say or do. That is your business. Look at the 2 videos. I want you to see these 2 videos. Okay. You see? This is the video. Okay. This video, when I put this video, right? When I check for all other social media bloggers have page where at least they stand, even me who I stand for the IG, when I check that page, you will not see this video. You will not see this video. I mean, you will not see it at all. You will not see, you will not hear anything. They call me, they ask me, why should I put that video on my page? This boy's in prison. They did a video because they mentioned Sisiko. I should not put it on my page. And I say we are fighting La Republique. Where is the energy to fight La Republique? It's on myself, right? Okay. This is the other one. When I did not play that one, this was the next one that came in. This one.
On the central prison, we pass one message. One message remain one and the same. Make the international community intervene. They end the war. Enough is enough. May they intervene. They end the war. It's not too much. Ally. May any of the nonsense let away. When I talk nationality, we correct Galim. I'm macho right now. May they know Bareta don't share them. Political nonsense when they call division for trouble.
Okay. Now the other video that when I see where they call me confused, or I mean 2 side callers or 10 side, I am not 2 side. I am 100 side callers. Me 100. If that will please you. They call me, they say why? Why should I put this video now? Now the people when they be against when they be favored the video I put them for Sisiko, when they hell it. Now they say I will put this video for my page again. I watch and work out talk for 2 sides. How is that helping the revolution? How will I want make we get to Boya? What will I want? When I want control me, when I want control me, for when now which then I want start? People that receive money, you cannot control them. You want to control me for a normal post. When I put Dr. Ayabacho, he on the other day where he graduate, they want to kill me. See, I am not 2 side callers. I am 20 side callers if that is your judgment based on what I post. That is your business. I am out to pass message. for people to know and understand what is going on. I am not out to pick particular messages from particular people. I put it for everybody to watch and listen. When Bishop John Egyawang, when they came out, when Eric called him the other day in stronger terms, what did Paul Nilong did? I'm shocked. Paul Nilong came out with invoices of transactions. I could not even read anything there. And yet, these are the things that cover thieves. These are things that help to cover those who are stealing. There was no need bringing out paperwork of things we do not even know. You are buying the case of John Egyawang. Why can't John Egyawang come and speak for himself? Mr. Paul Nilong, I asked this question. You came up with that list of invoices of whatever transaction was done about John Egyawang. You speak on this. You ask Eric, do not leave our IG alone. No, you are not the only one who like IG, Paul Nilong. I love IG, and I've received insult for the IG. John Egyawang have to come out and talk for himself. Do not bring us communiques from nowhere, invoices from nowhere, and say these are invoices from John Egyawang. All that is, for me, we call that irrelevant documents, because you could not, first of all, nobody could read anything that was on those documents. You are covering your mouth now. You are not talking about John Egyawang because Mr. Sako has not said anything about John Egyawang. Because Mr. Chris Anu has not said anything about John Egyawang. So you want to cover that. This is the problem we have. This is the problem we have. John Egyawang with thousands of dollars. We go and print things. I might be wrong, but you are not the person to talk on John Egyawang place. Just as in that same write-up, you call for Tabayang to come and talk. Tabayang, we need him to come and talk. We need John Egyawang to come and talk. All of them, we need them to come and talk. We must not wait for Mr. Sako to come, because maybe Mr. Sako is still keeping quiet for a reason. We rather bring them. The same way we are pushing Tabayang to come and talk, that is the same way we should push John Egyawang. Don't come out with invoices from nowhere that even you yourself, you cannot read nothing on those invoices, and you come and publish and you say, Eric, stop calling John Egyawang's name for nothing. These are his transactions. No, Paul Nilong. No, that was a mistake you made, my brother. That was a mistake. That was just a mistake. I say it as it is. That was just a mistake, because me, I am that one person that I would prefer everybody to go and don't say anything but John Egyawang. Because back in the days of Arike, he mentioned John Egyawang. It was taken for a joke until Arike was arrested. So I am just saying all these things so that we understand that there are things that we say or we bring them in the media that will cover others for their wrongdoings. We cannot do that any longer. Enough is enough. I think I have summarized on every single thing. That is just a point. That is just a point. I do not care whether you say what or you think what. That is your business, but I have said it as it is. So many things, and we have to look for a way forward. We have to look for a way forward. Starting now, a way forward. I will call all these activists. I am coming with a program. Abazonian hot seat. Incoming call. The Abazonian hot seat. We're here for Doctor on the fourth, Doctor. Hello, Doctor. Hello? Yes. Adele, you want to talk something? Yes, you want to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can for stop your volume for background. Yes, stop your volume for background. Okay, Doctor, I'll not mention his name now. Doctor, this, it is called for talk, but I not fit accept it because either I switch off the volume from the background before if you talk.
Incoming call.
Now people in this way they be donate too strongly for this revolution. Yes. Hello? Doctor, I know Pia come and tell you something. Reduce the volume. If you want call, I not be getting ready for take any call, but if you take just 2 or 3 people that call, reduce the volume from your background, doctor. Reduce the volume. You know if you talk the air for me and then you want talk again. Hello? Okay, talk.
Yeah, Yannick.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah, bro, thank you very much for trying to... Yeah, this is Dr. Defortu. Yeah.
Go on.
Yes.
When we hear for doctor, now one of our strong people in this way, they be...
Okay, I don't reduce them.
Okay.
Is it okay?
Yes, go on.
Is it okay?
Go on.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Yeah, Yannick, thank you very much for trying to be very transparent and trying to hammer what actually is going on with us here, with us Abazonian. Yeah, what I would try to say is, please, okay, yeah, so, okay, good. So what I'll try to say,
okay, doctor, I be sorry, sir, again for turning you off. You know, when you want to call me, you turn off the. You know, fit watch me the talk at the same time. No. It cannot work because the volume it interferes the program, the whole thing, the tuner. Turn off your device completely, then you can watch, you can talk. That is how we rule. You cannot be talking and listening to me at the same time. The echo interferes, the sound does not transfer accordingly. So please, doctor, turn off that other phone on our computer. Then you call, you talk very well. You know to get your voice back. That is how you should do it. So again, I don't just talk. I don't even know what's be there. I understand very well. So 1 or 2 people that want to call me, man, want to get my phone number. If you call me, if you watch me, all the people that get my phone number, you fit call. I need to give my personal phone number for out there. I know this show will not be prepared for people for calling, but I want to just talk again on this point as this guy, Tangi, you want call, you call. If you get a number, I don't know whether if you try to call me for messenger, I go. My if you try for messenger, if you try. So as I don't summarize everything, the way forward. Now say, hello? Yes, doctor.
yes.
Okay, go on now. We'll get you.
All right. I just want to beg. I like your program. You speak well and you try to bring things in the for life. I like what you talk. I did just beg Abazonian because I was right in a Congress. A Congress. I don't want to mention the person's. Yeah, I'm online. Yes, I was. What we are doing is much ado about nothing and childishness. We keep on insulting ourselves, putting all these things. We think American people are foolish. We think the Congress people are foolish. I was yesterday at Wilshire Boulevard. Let me just call and met a congresswoman, and she told me everything, and I was ashamed. She said we want to rule ourselves, but she played what we have been, doing online and what we have been saying, assassinating over and calling people thieves and all this stuff. And then she asked me, so we are blaming the US government that the government is thieves and everything, and is it of that we are not going to be thieves when we started putting ourselves as thieves before even taking the government? She asked me. I was so shocked. I was trying to, convince her. She said, she played it over. She played the tape. She played it and that we cannot rule a country in disunity. That we start abusing ourselves and calling ourselves thieves and all this kind of things and all this. So I want to beg us, please, let's put those things behind us and face the target. Let us, we have made errors. No person is free from this error. Myself, Eric Tataw, you yourself, every person, let's stop this nonsense and get to work and see how we can face Resolution 358 in Senate, or else we settle for federation and nothing else. Let's stop it at best. Let's stop it. I was there in Wilshire Boulevard. I'm from California. I'm telling you, you know me very well. That my personal friends. I went there and they put all these things there. I was ashamed. I was really ashamed. And I said, this is Abazonian. I just came back. I was trying to meet you at home, but it's just that I couldn't make it. So since you came online, so I said, let me say this. Let's stop and sorting ourselves and thinking that we are working for the good of ourselves. Sorry, we are just fishing over troubled waters. It's wrong. Let's stop it. And the young people said they were going to take over, but I'm so surprised that the youth are more a disgrace to this cause than even the elder people who were before us, like we are even more a disgrace to this cause. We are just more a disgrace. So I'm just begging, let's calm ourselves, we make errors, and let us come back and see where we made these errors, sit together, and put ourselves together and face the Senate. The American Senate, they are not stupid. These are people of wisdom. They know. They know what they are doing and what we are doing. Please, I'm begging because I know what is going to come out. We will be getting the greatest shock again. Thank you. Thank you. Abazonians, please don't insult others. We make errors. We did our things and they were not moving. Let's come back to the drawing board and sit down quietly and see where we make errors and say, okay, look, this is how we made our errors. Let's correct it and move ahead. We will win this struggle if we do that. If not, sorry, we should settle for federation. Thank you, Yannick.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you, thank you. You don't talk the best, one of the best thing where I will just steal a part of it and then talk and then end the show. Thank you very much. Just drop, you listen to it, I want to talk. All right, now, Doctor, this, I know call your name. I don't need to call your name. Where Doctor don't talk, it be very, very important. So caller don't come by me, hold on. So Doctor don't talk so it. Doctor talk say yesterday or it go. Una not forget say Karimbas. Now person from California. Now a congresswoman work more for California. Ye go down for Cameroon. Now ye one of the congresswoman that from here will represent will go down. Una get for no say. The big doctor say it be shocking. Say it go for Congress for it meet one of the congressmen. As the don't say who go for a Congress people. It go for the office for Wilshire. People in the day for California, they know where Wilshire they. It go there, it talk, they tell you, they bring it coffee. They send me Shion for that. Doctor Shion for that. They bring clip, they play for you. How we be disunite, how we are insulting each other. How we are calling others thieves? What makes us different from La Republique? So the earlier we stop, I don't talk. So I go call Eric. I talked with you yesterday before I even come for this show. Make it come live. Make it not call Sako your name. I beg you in Jesus' mighty name. Make we not call this. We don't call the name them. It don't pass. We don't hear my brothers them. No amount of talk will not change anything. We will keep revolving in the same orbit. We will revolve in that orbit forever. That is why I can tell you people that maybe we even succeeded with our vote. Maybe we get more votes in the resolution 358, but because of the inconsistency, the ups and downs, we might not be considered because of all these errors that we are making every day. Hello, Mr. Fidelis.
Yeah, thank you, Yannick. Thank you for having me. I want to talk, say, I listened to that caller, and it really entered my bones. If I advise you, I will advise you, say, from today, make you change your way of activism. No matter which way anybody they talk. If you know feel come online, they talk about how for raise fund for counties, then you better not come online for candy call the man name, say the man do so or the man do so, because from which way that man talk, if I will be you where you come online can talk before change your way of live show, because that the way that man talk now, the same way it happen. When I say we need to know, we need to know.
True.
People then they come, they manipulate people then for social media. Or the man will bring this thing, can manipulate. The one bring this thing, can manipulate. I like the way we talk. Say somebody endorse a problem rather than looking at where the problem started. Now, if we talk to me, La Republic, it look the root cause for problem. We're supposed to also be try to see whether what it make them before this thing happen. Everybody now they talk and say they be do impeachment. Some people in their way they did for the impeachment. Some people in their way they know where they did against the impeachment. You know, people force all man make it say yes, it be for, or we will force some man make talk say yes, it be against. Now, but you get to look and say what it caused the impeachment. Now for there you get to look the problem. Because the impeachment did not come before the dissolvement of the IG. The dissolvement of the IG comes before the impeachment. Now the problem that way be stand for them, but people they need to look at. Again, I want to talk say when they hold that meeting, the activists have an agenda, because if they do not have an agenda, the time where they be tell Sisiku say, hold on with this your letter. Before they even want finish, one activist already post for outside say no, na Sako then hold the problem of unity, because in no say Sisiku will not keep to that resolution, and therefore if Sisiku went ahead to do what he would do, they should hold Sako responsible. I'm not saying that Sako maybe he did not also have his own problem, but we should always look at the cause. Now, when you look at all these things, they are saying now that Sako is the cause of disunity. I would say no. Sako is the cause of disunity because he allowed the government to come to Nigeria and send away the other frontline leaders. If we were just trying to manage things, it was because we are in a revolution to see how other leaders can come and join the council. But the other leaders too, they refuse to come. So if somebody is saying that this person is the cause of disunity in this revolution, he should look for where the problem started. How was it from? All of us supported it not because we didn't know that something happened like that in Nigeria, but because we were in a revolution. We could not wait and say that they should be fighting us and killing us, and then we are doing things. But we see how we can fix along the line. So, my brother, we should see how we can do things in our own way to better this revolution than calling names. Because I have seen now that it is going now, even in a personal issue, people talking about an office where when they write a document and say a state house in Boya, are they in Boya writing that document? So people just bring nitty-gritty things and disturb the social media, tell lies and manipulation. The other day, Dr. Sako made something and said the refugees, whether the Konongi people, they went on strike, and then politicians took an advantage and hijacked the revolution. And he was playing the politician who hijacked the revolution, that's the vice president of Maurice Kamto, behind his screen. he was playing it and saying that the
Mr. Kola.
About this thing, and then politicians hijacked it. Eric come and said, Sako said Sako was the politician who hijacked this thing. You can't imagine how people manipulate the public.
Eric, Fidelis, thank you for that. That's some big point that will be forgotten. Eric made this mistake yesterday. Yes, Eric made this mistake very bad. I mean, yesterday it was very wrong. Wait till Fidelis.
It is really sad.
Fidelis, wait.
It means that if you want Eric to come on Sako, just create a fake profile. You write something about Sako and throw it on the road. Eric picks it. He's going for Sako. So that's not how you hate somebody. You cannot hate somebody and you say things that are verifiable, that people can really see that what you are saying is a lie. Eric came the other day and said he thanked me because Milan went to Congress and do this and do this. Sako has never. When Milan did not go to Congress, it was on picture. It was there on his Facebook that Milan said he wants to thank his representative for stepping in to go and represent him at the Congress. But his video, his audio of what he was, they were presenting in the Congress was outside. So how can you send a representative at the Congress and then you are the one talking on the video doing presentation? Where? And then you see how people just fall on it. You don't ask questions just because you want to blackmail people. You do this, you do this. No. If we are doing all these things today because of this money issue and all these things, it's because let me tell you straight. If they had given Sako the free hand to choose his own leaders to work with when he took over, we will be holding Sako today on his canal to give us every bit of things that has gone wrong to his regime. But because he took over from people that were already with him managing the finances of the other person, they came and managed his finance and did not do what they ought to do. Now we are pointing fingers left and right. Now the problem now is lying squarely to him. Which people are putting squarely to him, which is not correct. They should first of all ask that during the sequel, did we have a financial statement? That is where we should first of all start. Because in a revolution, if things are going well, we are concentrating in fighting. And then you don't even need to be talking about money if things are going well. If people are even just
Mr. F. Tangi, I don't send you my number for your messenger. You the already insist on one call. Yeah. I don't send you the number for your messenger. Tangi, you think take the number from your messenger call.
Yeah, if it be some person one call, I will
wait.
But I want to talk to
I want to talk something where you talk away make a lot of sense. Where from where Eric do yesterday where it not be make sense after Mr. Sako can make his speech. Mr. Sako make his speech talk say politicians they hijack the struggle. That was true. When during the call, even Mr. Chris,
it was on everywhere on the media. Even La Republic CRTV said it. That Maurice Kamto hijacked
exactly
the peaceful protest of the Abazonian. My brother, is that how you hate somebody?
I'm by Fidelis. Wait, when I did that show, I did a show. I even did it was live. I said Maurice Kamto's first deputy vice advisor or president was part of the protest. They came out. They joined the protest. You saw them, the Francophone, those who were arrested from Maurice Kamto's party. They were talking on that video. Are these not politicians?
Yeah.
Mr. Sako came yesterday, did a recognition message to those on Ground Zero and in Konengi for putting up a solid protest and said the politician took over the protest. Now our brother Eric came up and started saying things that Mr. Sako was implying to people like Mr. Sako and other people. That is not no. That was wrong.
The worst thing is that the protest was behind him on that screen. If you look at that screen, he was not even showing the Abazonian protest. He was showing the scenario of the Maurice Kamto, the vice president, talking to the people, and they are saying that they must release their leader. When you go and watch that video when Dr. Sako was talking, you will see the video behind playing.
Well, that was a very big mistake from, and that is the same thing what doctor just said.
It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's a deliberate attempt.
No, even if it is deliberate.
When you are out for a mission, you don't see any other thing. That is why he has gone live show continuously for how many days just to talk about Sako. He has never been doing like that. Why only now? It's because he's already on a mission to destroy Sako. We are not saying that you cannot criticize a leader. When you criticize a leader to correct the leader, it is a good criticism. But when you are out to bring down a leader, it is shown in every aspect of yours. It is shown. Okay, Eric said that the other day that anybody who is saying that Sako collected 800,000 years and did not send to ground and nothing went to ground zero, that person is lying. But you can say the money on ground zero was not commensurate to what they collected. But now he is saying that he collected the money and embezzled it. You can imagine how people say things today. Tomorrow they say a different thing. The next day they say a different thing. If you are not consistent, then you just show people that you are out for something else. It's really sad.
Yeah, Mr. Kola, thank you very much. Your point has been taken into consideration. I appreciate the fact everything you talk. I appreciate them, and you talk not true. You talk not true for that side for the point. Say, instead of taking the target, we are taking on us. The same way Doctor talk. Yeah. If Congresswoman wants to for watch Mr. Siko's speech yesterday, yeah, they can watch where Eric talk. It's already a contrary.
Yeah.
It affects everybody.
Yeah.
Now why that I want to start this show and talk.
I want to talk against Yannick. We will not say even if we go cry for Senate, do everything where they want to pass that resolution, they will pass them. You know, that cry, because the number of people then where they kill them, if they begin for just stop the war now the way where they do them, they don't stop them. But because America or any other country in the world cannot just openly say, no, we are giving these people independence. They will always look for a means where you will now then show that actually you need that independence. And America have looked for that means to tell us that let the country go back the way it was when we joined the Union. That is 1961. Let it go back to that status quo. When it goes back to that status quo, the people now of the British Southern Cameroon will have now the right to see if they will continue with that union or they will persist for their independence. Then the people would be deciding, not America coming to tell you now that no, I want to pass this resolution for independence. They can never do like that. And if not for diplomacy, they would have even said you people should go for 10-state federation or for a government that they will arrange the government and you go and live together. No. So they look for a way that they will make it 50-50 so that you will be the one now to decide if you will continue with that union or you will pursue for your independence. They cannot just openly tell us that go for independence. It doesn't happen like that anywhere in the world. So I think we still have something to do just to influence, but our influence, we should know that our influence has a limit. Because politicians, the world is working like one. They don't just do things because they want to do them. We just thank God that America is a country that they give priority to human life. If not, for 3 years, no country would have been talking about this war. Because there are people who have fought for 10 years. Nobody has spoken about them. So we are lucky. We are lucky.
Yeah, in as much as we are lucky, right? We are at the same time putting some barriers. We are blindfolding ourselves. Why did I say that? Did you just listen from doctor?
Yeah, no, the disunity issue, that is the problem. Those are one of the barriers.
Good.
And then not everybody, you see, everybody now is on WhatsApp fighting this person, talking about this leader. This newspaper have said like this. It means that La Republic now can put down their weapons and use newspapers to fight us. Because each thing they write on the newspaper, this person will pick and post and say, no, this one is the leader that the newspaper have endorsed. Now, the Guardian Post have gone and endorsed to work for school resumption. Which type of information would they be writing now on their newspapers? Because they have endorsed to help the school distribute material for school resumption. So what type of information would they be giving now for their newspapers? So you need to know. So the Republic can use just newspapers to fight us. Because we are so naive and so,
well,
it's sad.
Mr. Kola, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being part of the show. And
I like the way you do your thing. Then many people may not like, but you are an activist. You are not a surrogate.
Thank you.
Is the one that will stand for his thing, no matter what is happening. He will stand for
but
it.
Mr. Fidelis,
Activist is the one that will look both sides.
Mr. Fidelis,
This is wrong. This is right.
Fidelis.
Yeah.
Since you came up with that point, I want you to tell me, right? Like you just talk about surrogates and activists. I know for sure that you were one of those who used to call Eric in the background. We talk when things were going out with Mr. Ayabacho and the rest. Today you see how things can easily change, right?
Yeah.
That is the point. They say at times when you are judging somebody, make sure you stand on a safe ground, on a level land, because you might stumble and fall. It has certainly goes around, and now it is coming back to you, true or false? It's
coming back not because my problem is if I want to I cannot criticize anyhow. If anybody tells you that I am not criticizing the IG, you go and find out. Go and find out whether I am criticizing the IG or not. But I know where to criticize the IG. I know how to talk to them. That this is wrong, this is right. I do that. But I don't just go out, anything you see, you go and put outside and negative thing outside. No. If you go to the IG, there are some people inside who are calling me black legs. Go and find out. They are calling me black legs and a mole in the house. Why? Because when I see what is not good, I go inside the house and criticize inside. When Secretary Chris came out and was talking something, he tried to make the boys in Konongi tell us the side which is supporting school resumption and the side which is not doing this. I immediately write on the show that it is not necessary, because maybe he has not watched the video in the afternoon. So I criticize the ID, but I criticize to make it better. I do not just take anything you say. I will go inside and tell them that this thing is like this. You people should do it like this to see how it will work. So people should not just think that you just go out and say anything. Because the problem I have with Ayaba was because of the Guzang massacre, and he has never apologized, and they don't even accept of doing that, of doing it. So and then I have a problem with these people because they go out instead for the other people. They don't see anything wrong with their own leader. So I have never openly talk to Ayaba, or I don't even have access to his Facebook to comment there. But I go after those his surrogates who don't see anything wrong with him. So that is how it is.
Okay.
But I will not sit and see people just manipulating the public just because you have an agenda to do. Okay, what was the end game of all these things that Eric has been doing over these 2 weeks? What was the end game? The end game was that he said, for now, I have reversed the impeachment. One, But the other day he said he supported the impeachment. The next he said he has reversed it. Second, he said he does not even recognize again the IG of Dr. Sako. But first he said we have one IG. Now he said he doesn't recognize Dr. Sako and said that Dr. Sako should go back to his common sense. At the end of the day, what did he say? He said, okay, from now the IG ceases to exist. The IG ceases to exist, and therefore we should go and bring we back. That shows you that he was out on a mission, because you cannot take 2 weeks to say things that, I mean, you say this one today, tomorrow you say a different thing.
Okay, Mr. Fidelis.
At the end of the day, you still come back to what you were struggling to hide.
Well, thank you.
Anybody who is following him will know that he has an agenda, and he has come out with the agenda.
Well, the truth is that Eric kept quiet, and for some reason, I don't know what he was building up until he started vomiting the things that he has been talking about. And for that reason, I don't understand if he is 100% with the decision made by Mr. Sako, despite the fact that he said he does not agree or he doesn't want Mr. Sako to rule from the prison. That is a no-no to him. But
how can you say you don't want Sako to rule in prison, but when his vice president send out something, you post it? It means you are saying that you don't want to take instruction from Povia, but you are taking from Okala Bilai. Does that make sense? Is that not hypocrisy?
That is why I said there are indirect way we come on air and we say we don't want this thing. In other hand, we are pushing the things ahead. We all know this. We all know this. Eric might say I don't want Sako to rule, but he stands strong with Yerima. Has Eric ever criticized Yerima for accepting being the vice president? Meanwhile, we have a current government. Has Eric asked to see? Eric has not asked.
When he wanted to come to Sako, he will bring Tabayang and just come and flash for the people. He will go and write on his post that Tabayang and this. When he comes, he come and just flash Tabayang and go and be attacking Sako. Leaving the person who went for the audit and the person who did not go. Which of these two people are guilty? Which of them are guilty? So we should try to see things the way they are. If they say an audit, you refuse to go, and the person who went there, if they were to give punishment, who will receive the punishment or the highest punishment? So the people should not think that Abazonians are fools. We are not fools.
All right, thank you, Mr. Caller. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you guys for watching. I'll be sending number for some one person make it call because it over insist. They like one to get my number. I never call, and I almost end the show. So in all conclusion, I thank the call. I thank this our caller way come up for talk. We appreciate everything where it go on, and just an advice say from a roundup from which way this caller talked to Mr. Eric Naseti, my brother Eric. We understand you don't want Mr. Sako for rule out from jail. So is that in your position for come up, you talk, you don't need which way what Yerima did do you need for bringing in tell Mr. Yerima for come for the one government where it be current. Because if Yerima did govern a government, Mr. Sako did govern a government, at the end of the day, whatever you are saying, Mr. Eric, it helps nobody. It just means that you are trying to cover whatever Mr. Sako is doing by saying that he cannot rule from the jail. Yeah. Mr. Sako cannot rule from the jail, but he has somebody outside who speaks on his behalf. But you have not talked to that person to join the current IG. If you indeed recognize that we have just one IG, then let everybody fall under the IG. Yerima, there are 10,000 positions under the current IG, the one IG. He can come under the IG and find a post. He can even come under the IG. Who knows? Mr. Sako might say, okay, come and rule the government. Who knows? We don't communicate. We only keep making problems from A to Z every day. And it becomes a whole issue with the revolution. Today we are falling behind. because of things like this. After we had gone a long way, we start running behind again. Like I told Mr. Eric yesterday, that my brother, when we keep, I know, yes, you want to call names, but calling these names every day keeps projecting talks that will not help the revolution. Even if Mr. Sisiko or Sako, all of them say we are not going to rule, we stop today, the revolution will still continue. That is why when Mr. Sisiko went to prison, somebody took over to continue with the revolution. Macho BBC made decision yesterday. The people in the prison, they stood up. They stood up and they said Macho BBC made that decision by himself or by with 3 other people. The majority did not agree. It doesn't mean that as a president or as a leader, you remain still, that you cannot be shaken. That is just the truth. So I thank everybody for understanding, for watching. I know some people, this show had gone more than it was supposed to. I was expecting a call from somebody who keep calling, sending messages that he wanted to call. Again, the message has been passed, and whoever want to understand, again, I don't know how another person this. Okay, the guy, okay. So I thank everybody again for watching. The show has finally come to an end. We're going to look for a way forward. I repeat again, there's a program coming, Abazonian activists on a hot seat. I'm going to start with Wanja Wanja. With Wanja Wanja, I'm going to take Eric Tataw. I'm going to take on Mark. I'm going to take on Prijeka. I'm going to take on Pornilo. I'm going to take on maybe Mr. Chris Ano. Even Mr. Tabayang. They'll be on the hot seat so that we talk and we bring a way forward. So that will be the last thing we are going to do in this revolution, and we keep it going. So fine. Hello? 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 Yes, so that is the last thing we are going to do to push the revolution forward. And I beg all on Ground Zero, all our mami, wa papa them, we not say at this point for the revolution, we will try our best for make sure say all this chaos where it come up for America, for Europe, for diaspora in total as a whole, sorry, we will try for eliminate them. And the only way we go eliminate them, we not take, we not phone them from Ground Zero. We not write Eric Tataw. We not write Bareta. We not write Yannick. We not talk say we not the beg we make we stop all these things. At the back, say we not the back make we stop all these things. The same way we say make we not vote for Congress. Now the same way we expect we not to for call. Maybe we not call them, we not message them for Messenger or WhatsApp. It go help. It go actually help for reduced this thing, and then we focused. We don't stay a lot for the same position. Mr. A, Mr. B, Mr. Z, Mr. Q, Mr. R. Just like that. So at the back now, whoever, if you want Mr. Sako must go and write it to him, text him. He has his name, Sako, somewhere Sako, something like Facebook name that. Do it on his page. Say whatever you want to say. He might read it and decide to do whatever you want. So please, 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 please. We are not here for any decision making. We did not put any person there, and we're not going to make decision on their behalf. Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Yanko, how far?
Fine, fine.
I beg me, I'm not asking for language grammar right now, but just try forgetting where I want to talk. So I want to talk on some few things and I'll go to touch on the main lines them. So waiting where I want to talk first and say anybody where it wants to solve the problem, the current problem where therefore I did right now, thing where it get for doing a sewity. First of all, Mr. Sisiko, before it went write that letter for dismiss Sako or wait, it point out some very important things and for inside that letter. The letter point out say the problem of mismanagement, the problem of all of those issues. We will not say before Sisiko one point out that those problems them, we will be done identify those problems them. We will be done be for the stage of looking to those solutions. So that is not even the reason why
Sisoko be write that letter, and if Sisoko claims that the reason that way he write the letter, then we get one thing for do. We get for tell Sisoko point blank say, you see no pa, this thing where you do and so. Even though these problems then will be defaced, but not be way for go about this thing. So take back that letter, withdraw that letter officially. Then we take those problems, then where you enumerate them, we give them for Sako say and the Restoration Council. Who Sako responsible say, Mr. Sako, this one's a problem, then they don't go wrong. We know say you be go for Berlin, you identify some of these problems. How you intend to solve these problems then? Because if you, Mr. Sisoko, claim saying that the problems that way where you be identify them and the reason that way you destroy IG, that means that if they solve those problems then you go there, you find no be so. So the main thing I say, make with the look, say we go do her before we solve those problems. Now you don't go create another group. Me, I call that one say group. Any man where you call and say IG, say IG2, IG that, it be dishonest. Why? Because the Restoration Council and the IG way is they present. Sisoko be a signatory to that, and Sisoko be signed and say Restoration Council are the highest body that for office. You know, minimize the highest officer for office for go create your own, then they call them say IG. That means if Sako come on now, so go create your own, they go call and say IG3. Chris Anu come on now, go create your own, they go call and say IG4. No. It's not how the people work. One thing I say, if Sisiko you say, now you come out for the IG, now you disrespect the IG. So anything where the form and for the, now you sabi, concern the IG. So whatever he's doing, the name of IG should not be attached to that. So the solution I say, waiting. Sisiko, withdraw those that letter where you write and say you dismiss Sako, because Sako the way they vote them, now vote them. Not be you be appoint Sako in the first place. They vote Sako now vote them. So you not get powers, except say you been a dictator, you not get powers to sack Sako in any way. And the power where they be taken for you, they give for Sako. Now the same Restoration Council to give you that power if they see and say you be fit for rule and time where you don't be free for rule. That time, if all of these things be happen, so we go hold Sako responsible, say, why Sisoko come out, you the hang for chair. Now that time where we go see and say, Sako, now you be on the wrong. But at this time, you there for jail, you need for the communicate the best ideas them for Sako, make Sako the implement them, then we go who's one man responsible. We go who's Sako responsible, say, Sako, this thing they go wrong, who and fix them. Sako, this thing they go wrong, how you intend for fix them. Then we go move forward in unity. Not the same you create problems here and there now with the fight, all man the fight, all man the fight. So which side will they go? So me I keep that one aside.
You get
another
2
thing
minutes.
where me I don't want to talk like this problem, this issue of we not recognizing the problems that we are facing. Like you be first up for your show. So we problem now say time where with the follow person, with the jaw the blind follow the person will not be even look at whether the thing where it is talk it been a true or false. We draw the clap and whether a true or false. Now one problem that way we get them. How we can solve this problem now for the be true to ourselves, search our conscience, look and say, this thing so where this man they talk, how it really push we forward, how it really make them say maybe we achieve where we all will try for achieve with that this independence. So make we try for the even time where person talk something, make we not just jump on top the course, make we try to hold back, calculate them, see how we will fit correct those things. That one not mean say anything particular thing where anybody talk use them like insult. One problem where then I say even when person see bad thing, it's not the correct them for good way. It bring them like insult and why that some other the other side the insult and now. So instead of correcting the problem, they see them as head. You see, I know. So when you identify problem, you bring the problem in a patriotic way, how we Englishman people talk. Then we see how we will be solved. Not bring the problem in the form of cost or in the form so you minimize people, because the other group now they go see them like hatred and they go reverse back the thing. Then the other thing I want to read about now about this audit thing. First, I want to say, Mr. Tabayang, why people them they accuse you not be because they hate you or what it be at the center of everything that has happened with money. You and me, we don't listen for Mr. Tabayang. He don't talk so what now he get the power for give out money to the extent where if they even refuse to give out money, so now he be the first person where if a fee come out or go to the audit and come out because the audit not become the auditors not become out of control now for public. So may go for that auditors there. Go confirm and say yes. We see and say Mr. Chris Anno get 30,000. You'll be give this money for Chris Anno. Yes or no? We see and say, Mr. John Egyawang get this amount. You'll be give the money for Mr. John Egyawang. Yes or no? So the thing where we feel do at the moment, not before accuse John Egyawang, not before accuse Chris Anno, not before accuse Sako. First thing first, let Mr. Tabayang go to the auditors and answer whether he gave out those monies or not. When he answers he give out that money, then we will stand now the people them say, yes, you don't confirm, say, if he give you this money, the person don't confirm, say, yes, if he give you the money, how or where you take this money you do? Because now, if we talk say, let us go and who Tabayang Egyawang responsible. How you be sure say even the money go for you? Even if Tabayang this man Egyawang commander talk say it not be take them receive that amount of money, you go believe the Egyawang. You not go believe him. Why? Because maybe you get some things say he must answer.
Caller.
But the
Hello?
key person when he needed to give out the initial information now, Mr. Tabayang, when he answer to the auditors, then we will start holding these people accountable. What did you do with the money?
All right,
So
Mr.
the
Caller.
most important thing where we need for do now, how then do we move forward in unity and oneness for stop this nonsense?
Mr. Caller.
Go on. For stop this, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know you don't talk very well. I need for their work in the next 30 minutes, and I don't put more than the input where I'm supposed to put them. I appreciate I don't talk. I come up with a show where I will give time, make una call. I will put a number out there because some people them too the try for call, but not be the right time. I still try to put that number. So when I go get that point, we will get every activist for the Abazonian hot seat. When I go fit talk directly for the so now. I will appreciate your time and then I will end your call better. I appreciate the point. You don't talk a lot. If you go back, you listen to what you will be talking, you see the people that do react to it and they appreciate what you talk. Those some that they talk their own thing. But you get a point and I appreciate them very well. Abazonian, I don't hear your voice and we keep it that way. Thank you very much for now. I appreciate. Bye. Alright, Ambalanders, thank you very much again for the show today. It don't come officially. I will put the show for the end. You don't end at end, so because we don't get a lot of facts and a lot of information from where to go on. Man, we never know, he go later on watch the show from where it starts. So thank you very much. Thank you again very much. We go continue again in the days ahead. You can go now to ABC, like I think ABC, somebody's live there. You can go to ABC and watch. can go to ABC. Thank you all for watching. When I can use this, the show is officially over now. Thank you, John Barnes, Emmanuel, Echo Ponga. James, I appreciate everybody. Go to ABC, there's a show going on right now. I'm just putting my things together. Mirabel, I hail you, my dear sister. Fidelia Amber, you are a strong brother, my brother. You always support. You donate to your county. Kevin, thank you all for watching. George Mba, I believe you don't write today's prayer. I should say get a 100 comment. Madi Mo, thank you, Mama. I appreciate you too. Davi S. Daniel Tasho. Tasso. That name looks familiar. Thank you for watching. Mama V. Bangui. Welcome. Don't came later. The show was amazing. It was a good show. Very beautiful. You can watch it later on. Thank everybody. Apo Junior, my old brother, the doctor himself. Thank you for joining. Though you came later. I appreciate everybody. The show has officially come to an end. You can watch ABC right now. Goodbye. Star, hey, I forget my star. Star, I salute you. I don't see you for comment section. I salute you. Gascon, the Reverend himself, welcome, man of God. I appreciate seeing you on board. But you came late, you can always watch it. Afo. Thank you for joining the show, Mr. Afo. Both of you did well. I saw your comment and everything. Valin Jimba, thank you very much. Ransomer, I appreciate. Go and watch ABC. I know you love my shows and I love you all. We don't hate each other. We love ourselves. We love everybody. And together we shall go to Boya. Nobody will be left behind. Even the black legs, they'll be in Boya with us. Mama V. Bangui, my own sister who rescued Arke. Mama, we shall hail you on Ground Zero. Mommy Blinks, I greet you all the way from Dubai, always representing. Christy Penda, you are always there, but it's like you are late today. Abazonian Stefan, thank you, my dear brother. All right, see you guys. Appreciate. Thank you all for joining.